everyone, Tim Schofield here, and I did just unbox the new Galaxy S24 Ultra, but don't forget about the regular Galaxy S24 and S24 Plus from Samsung. So thanks Samsung for sending these two over for us to check out. Now, all of these phones are up for pre-order still, and there's some current bonuses that you can get, like a storage upgrade, some money back, and really good trade-in deals. So I will link to all the best deals down in the description if you're interested in picking up one of these devices. So with that being said, there are some differences between the Galaxy S24 and the S24 Plus, aside from the obvious size difference. So we're gonna take a quick look what comes in the box of these two phones, put them side by side and do a comparison. Check out some of the AI features that are built in as well. Also, be sure to subscribe. A lot more content coming soon on these phones and the S24 Ultra. But anyways, let's get into the video. And here they both are, the Galaxy S24 and S24 Plus. I've got the Ultra right there. We can put that side by side in just a little bit. Anyways, we are going to open both of these up. Exact same thing, SIM ejection tool, quick start guide, and then a USB-C to USB-C cable for charging. So that's everything you get in the box, and then obviously onto the phones. The S24 Plus is cobalt gray, and this is marble violet. Let's take the phones out of the packaging. Of course, whoops. All right, that first peel was awful. Let's try and do better. Much more satisfying, sorry about that. So first thing I'm noticing is how flat the sides are. A lot of real estate to hold on to on the side. So we are going to boot these up for the first time. And while they boot up, let's take a closer look at this hardware. So down at the bottom, we've got our SIM card slot, microphone, USB Type-C port for charging, one of the speakers. Now moving along on the right side here is an antenna for 5G, I believe. And then on the right, you've got your power button, volume rockers as well. So lining it up from the top, you'll see just about how much taller the Plus model is. Also, fairly minimal camera bump with that triple camera system overall. Up towards the top, you've got another microphone, and then along the left side here, absolutely nothing. And just a close look at the back with the Samsung logo, and then our triple camera setup. Would like to point out that the lens cutout is just a little bit of a different color in terms of the back coloring. You have a 50 megapixel wide angle lens, a 12 megapixel ultra wide angle lens, and then a 10 megapixel telephoto lens, which will zoom up to 3 times optically. Now I'm gonna run through the startup process, set up both of these phones, and just talk about anything that's noteworthy. You can set up face unlock or the in-display fingerprint scanner. Setting our thumb down, a subtle vibration. I do really like the vibration motor on these devices. They both felt about the same when typing in my Wi-Fi password. And now just running through this setup process. Shouldn't take long. These are actually really accurate and quick now, the in-display fingerprint scanners. You can add more if you'd like, but continuing through lets you know you can have the fingerprint always on, even when the screen is off. You can have that and show animation when unlocking, a couple options. It does let you know about the new AI features and which apps have them at the moment, including phone, the keyboard, photo editor. So we'll test some of these out in just a second. All right, we are all set up and ready to go. And obviously you're going to want to protect your new Galaxy S24, and that brings us to our sponsor. So big thanks to Taurus for sponsoring this video. So Taurus hooked it up with not only cases, but also screen protectors as well. They make a ton of different mobile accessories for all kinds of phones. So this is the O Stand case from Taurus, and it checks every single box that you are looking for in a case for a phone nowadays. So it's not only just a good looking premium feeling case on the back here. It has a combination of a stand, it has a ring, plus this is MagSafe compatible, so this will work with your MagSafe accessories. The O-Stand case has this ring that you can just pull out, and the hinge is really sturdy, so it will sit at multiple angles when you use it, so you can use it horizontally, but also vertically you can stand it up. So not only is it functional, it really protects your device. You'll notice it raises above the camera lens, so it's not going to scratch that lens. Plus, it will sit flat. You'll notice this ring sits completely flat within the case when it's closed, so that when it's on the table, it's not going to rock at all, so you can use it completely flat. Needless to say, I love that the Taurus O-Stand case has all of these features built into one case. Taurus also sent their Diamond Shield screen protector to protect that beautiful screen on my S24. Installation was super simple. It's a 3-step process, did not have any trouble whatsoever, and you get solid protection. So this has a 9H hardness rating, and it features their nanoscale pressure and resilient structure, and there's no color deviation on that beautiful display, so you see the original color on the screen. And don't worry, your fingerprint scanner and S Pen work just fine with the screen protector on. So anyways, big thanks to Taurus for sponsoring this video. Go check them out. I will link to them down in the description of the video. Samsung added 0.1 inches of screen real estate on both of these, bumping it up to 6.2 inches and 6.7 inches. Yet the bezels do look noticeably smaller. So it's a pretty nice, all display experience. With that being said, the size is not the only difference. So first of all, these are 120 hertz AMOLED displays, which looks really smooth. You can tell it's enabled out of the box, but the Plus has a higher resolution. So when you go into display and scroll down, out of the box, it's at 1080p, which is what the regular S24 has. But on the Plus, you can bump it all the way up to 1440p, which is the max resolution, but you can bump it down to 720p if you'd really like to save battery life. Unfortunately, you are stuck with 1080p on the S24. You can't bump it down to 720p for some reason. And again, going into motion smoothness is where you'll see adaptive all the way up to 120 hertz, or you can change it to standard. Also, I'm noticing the screen gets very bright because they up the nits, the max nits on these displays. So when you do bump it up and you go outside, the screen is going to get really bright and you're gonna have no problem seeing it outside. Very quickly, here is the Ultra next to the Plus. So obviously the Ultra is still a little bit bigger, a little more boxy and square, and then flipping it over on the back. So it's more comfortable to hold these because of the rounded corners. These are actually a little bit sharp on the Ultra. A video on the Ultra coming very soon about my impressions, so stay tuned for that. Anyways, next side by side, whoops, I wanna grab the Ultra so you can really see the size difference here between these two devices, and then flipping it over. Let's set my thumb down. Fingerprint unlock works great, but you'll notice quite a big difference in terms of screen size. And the way you can handle the S24, it's really nice. I really do like this more compact size, and hopefully battery life is better with the updated Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 processor on all three of these devices. But not just the processor upgrade, the size of the battery got bigger. They bumped it up this year, 4,000 milliamp hours in the regular S24 compared to 4,900 in the S24 Plus. And yes, the cameras on the two are the exact same. So snapping just a couple quick pictures here, you can go to that ultra wide angle lens at 0.6x, or like I said, 3 times optical zoom. So this is not using digital zoom, but anything over that. So when you zoom in all the way up to 30x, that's the max zoom. That's going to be digital zoom, of course. When using the main 1x lens, you have the option to switch over to the 50 megapixel lens if you'd like to take full advantage of all of those pixels. You of course have your portrait mode, and when you go to video, you can shoot all the way up to 8K 30 frames a second. And finally, going into more is where you're going to see night mode, portrait video, and your pro modes, which is always great to use to really customize your shot. Grabbing the regular S24, let's check out some of those AI features. So going into a picture, just press the edit button up towards the top, then press this button right here. And this is where you can really customize your images. Now, one thing I want to point out is if you sort of angle it and you want to keep the same, crop, you'll notice you lose a lot, but it does have generative fill. So if I do hit generate, it should generate my desk in those empty spots. We'll see how it handles it. All right, so it actually added some items as well. So you'll notice it put some stuff on my desk above. There actually is something up there, but I don't know. It just kind of guessed. So you can go view original, and there you go. It added in the outsides. So let's do one more. I just took this picture, pressing the edit button, pressing that icon right there. Now, you can also tap or draw around specific objects. So if I want to move this plant, so to speak, you highlight it, you press down and hold, and you can move it to another spot on the desk. You can resize if you want a large or maybe just a little smaller plant. You can angle it a certain way, or you can hit the erase icon and just completely get rid of it. So now, there we go. What's going to happen is it's going to leave a hole there. So if I hit generate, it's going to fill in where I moved that original plant. And there you have it. So view original, and you'll see it has a blank wall there. It doesn't have it filled in that blue with the sound panel there in the back. So it actually did a pretty good job at cropping and moving this. So obviously you're probably not gonna wanna use this as an example, but with people or anything like that, if there's something in the image you wanna erase, it works pretty well. With the launch of the Galaxy S24, Circle to Search is now here, coming to this lineup of phones and the Pixel 8 lineup. So what you can do is you circle anywhere. I do have a full video on this. I can link to that video down in the description, just really diving into it and all the different ways you can test it and play with it. But you'll see whatever you circle or scribble on, it's going to just do a quick Google search. So if I highlight this Microsoft text, you can translate it, you can copy it, or of course you have a full search down below. Now finally, there's one more difference between the S24 and S24 Plus, and that's storage. The base storage is 128 gigs as opposed to 256 on the larger one, and RAM. 8 gigs of RAM on the S24, 12 gigs of RAM on the S24 Plus. So just a little bit better package. Camera's the exact same, but you get a better display, a little bit more RAM, and battery life should be better on the larger model. So anyways, that's it for me for now on the Galaxy S24 and S24 Plus. If you have any questions, drop a comment. Let me know. I'll be hanging around in the comments section down below. Be sure to subscribe. A lot more content coming soon. Like I said, another video on the Ultra coming very soon. So click that subscribe button. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up. And as always, thanks for watching.